Have you ever felt too small, too weak, too outmatched to succeed? Like you're standing in front of a giant, alone? One young shepherd, one giant warrior, one smooth stone. You've heard the story of David and Goliath, but today we go deeper. Because this ancient story holds powerful lessons about business, faith, risk-taking, and success. Let's uncover the wisdom behind the risk. Goliath, strong, tall, fully armored, a warrior since youth. David, young, inexperienced, no sword, no shield, just a sling and a few stones. But David wasn't just carrying stones. He was carrying something greater, trust in God and heavenly wisdom. In the world of business, we often feel like David, facing big companies, big challenges, big doubts. But here's the truth. You don't need to be the biggest. You just need to be guided by God and bold enough to take the step. Goliath's overconfidence. Goliath laughed at David, mocked him. "What am I, a dog, that you come at me with sticks?" That's what overconfidence looks like. It's what happens when people trust in size, history, and systems, but not in wisdom. In today's world, we've seen it before. Blockbuster laughed at Netflix. Kodak ignored digital cameras, giants, who thought they were unbeatable. Overconfidence blinds you. And worst of all, Goliath underestimated not just David, but God. David was bold, but not reckless. He didn't go out there with pride. He went out there with purpose. When King Saul gave him armor, David said no. Why? Because it wasn't his. He chose the sling. Why? Because he had practiced with it, alone, in the fields, where no one saw him but God. That's real wisdom. David took a risk, but a prepared, faith-fueled, calculated one. He didn't fight the giant the world's way. He fought the way God had trained him in secret. Underestimated, but spiritually grounded. Everyone underestimated David, even his brothers, even the king. But David knew. God saw something in him. In business, maybe people underestimate you. They don't see your vision. They laugh at your idea. They think you're too young, too new, too small. But if God has called you, that's all the confirmation you need. Being underestimated is not a curse. It's a setup for God to show up through you. One stone, that's all it took. But don't forget, David didn't just pick any stone. He chose it carefully from the stream. He aimed with experience, and he threw with faith. What's your stone? Maybe it's a small idea, a startup, a gift, a story, a voice. It may seem small, but when it's used with wisdom, skill, and trust in God, it becomes powerful. Giants don't fall from size, they fall from accuracy. Life and business lessons. David's story teaches us this. You don't need to fight like everyone else. You just need to fight with what God gave you. Use your strengths. Trust His plan. Take risks when led by wisdom. Stay humble, but bold. And let people underestimate you. That's your advantage. David said in 1 Samuel 17:45, "You come to me with sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord Almighty." That's the mindset that wins. So here's my message to you. You may be small in the world's eyes, but your stone, your calling, your idea can change the game. Don't be afraid to step out. Don't be afraid to take the shot. Don't be afraid to face the giant. Because when your faith is real, your wisdom is divine, and your heart is aligned. Even giants fall. It's not about how big the obstacle is, it's about how big your faith is. If this message moved you, like, comment, and share it with someone who's facing their own Goliath. This is Wave of Wisdom, where ancient truth meets modern life.